Hey, talk about what's up? How you doing?
I'm good, good. How are you?
I'm okay.
Good, good. I didn't click on the bottom part of the because you have
Yeah,
to click on the bottom. Yeah.
it's great to have you on board, bro.
Yeah, yes, sir. It's good to be on board.
How's it going? How you been managing the lockdown and all that?
Oh man, well, it's trying to stay positive and productive. I
Yeah,
think these are the two keywords for me now. And try not to let the whole period go to waste. Trying to, all those things that I've been putting away on the side burner, revisiting them now, brushing
yeah.
them off, just to make sure that at least make the best of it. But it's been interesting, boring and all. But hey, what you gonna do, right? How's it been for you?
Well, you know how it goes. You have to keep, at it. You have to keep trying, make the best
Right.
out of everything.
Yep. Yep. That's
But it's
good.
pretty interesting though, because it's giving us an opportunity to jumpstart things that we've been
Yeah.
trying to, try to get off the ground that we have not been able to get around to
Yeah.
for one
Yeah.
reason or the other. We all now have, a little bit of time to start working on it.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I agree.
You know what I mean? So it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Hey, Mustafa, nice to have you on.
Yeah, thanks, Habib. But tell me, how are you, man? How you doing? Mubarak, right?
I'm I'm good. Yeah, man. Just trying to
How
stay
you guys,
positive, man.
how you guys Eid in America?
We're all indoors. We're locked in. We don't get to go out to see any celebration. It's actually a holiday here too tomorrow, but it doesn't feel like it, obviously, because when you're indoors, you don't feel any different whether it's a holiday or not.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So
You're on lockdown. You're on
yeah,
lockdown. That's just the way it is.
that's the way it
We're,
is.
we're
Yeah,
celebrating at home, just
yeah,
talking with friends and video calls. You know, the norm now, since no
yeah,
movement.
yeah. At least you guys will kill ram, you chop ram rice and all.
This is not the one for Ram. This is not the one that you kill Ram. This is a small fella. This is the big one. Big kid.
Oh, okay.
He's up sometimes in 2 months from now. This is not the one that you slaughter Ram. This one is, even though they're going to slaughter Ram, where's the money? COVID 19.
COVID-19 have put everybody on hold.
Oh, it has put everybody on hold.
Uh,
Mr. Habib, how you doing? Good to
I'm okay.
eyes from the radio. You guys, what's happening in Dublin, anyways?
Well, Dublin is on lockdown until August. There's nothing anybody can do about that, but it's um, it's for everybody's safety, as far as we know, and
Yeah.
we're happy to comply. Sit at home, wash your hands, maintain a safe distance, and everybody should be fine.
Oh, okay.
yep.
And we're still um, here in um, what do you call it, in Niger. A lot of people are just like, you know what, we have to live with this.
Yeah,
Uh, and there's nothing else anybody can do. We just have to live with COVID anyways. We just
Yep.
have to,
yes.
because um if not, I die everybody day.
Yep.
I say that everybody did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the reality is, at every point in time in life,
Yeah.
there are always little things that are going to, detract you
Mm.
from what's going on, all over the world and all that. And
Yep.
all you have to do is just keep looking, and keep watching and keep,
Mhm.
trying your best,
Yep.
you know.
Yep.
But
But it's
I think Yankee is the most hit though. Yankee, say the two, they hear what? You know, they say, no, well, I make the thing they wire them. And look at the ease on lockdown now. And more
yeah,
cases. Yeah?
Yeah. I think the I think they're testing more too in America, right? Once you test more, you find out because a lot of people are like what they call it asymptomatic, right? They don't show the symptoms of
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
COVID, and they're walking around with it. And I'm assuming that's true for most other countries as well, where you may have it, you don't even know you have it because you haven't been tested yet. So I think in America, where the death is higher than most places, definitely because obviously
Yeah.
the older the country is older in terms of the age dynamics of the country. It's much older than many other countries, right? There's a lot
Yeah.
more old people in America on an average than the younger segments when you compare to other countries. So you'll expect there naturally to be more deaths, right? Because of the age alone, it's one of
Yeah.
the factors that accelerate death with this kind of
Mhm.
virus. So yeah, it's tough. People are tired of staying at home. Bottom line is at the end of the day, people are the say if this thing is going to kill me, let it even kill me. I'd rather be out there working and hustling, knowing that, which I understand. I'm starting to be of that mindset. I'm starting to co-sign that mentality, even though I still know the threat of the virus. And at the point, you just got to go out and do what you got to do, man. Because if you stay
Yeah.
home, you get it. You're still be infected. If you go out, protect yourself and get back to work, man. Man, it's crazy. Our business now, entertainment, is all about look, touch, feel, experience. The key word is experience. And we're not experiencing anything now other than in social media,
Yeah.
but
And
it's,
that has been there's a big question mark to that because I've had conversations with a lot of my friends and they're like, look, how are we going to go with, especially we in the industry, entertainment industry right now,
mhm,
because as you said, Tokwe, is touch feel that experience,
right.
that they have to have that interaction. That human interaction is it's key in what we do.
Yeah.
We're
Yep.
promoting. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be. We're trying to look at how we can be able to find a way because COVID is not going to go. It's not going to go away anytime soon. That's the way I'm
Yep.
saying. So how do we
Yep.
support the industry, especially we that were promoters and our business is more like people is that interaction that feel that experience. It's what
Mhm.
artists that's what they want to see. When an artist come on stage, there's
Yeah.
millions of people. There's thousands of people. About the money you pay the artist. It's also about him seeing, connecting with the people and say, look, you know what, this huge number of people are my fans. They love me, and they put more. I think they put more. I don't know how we're going to work this out with this
Mhm.
social media. I mean, whatever social distancing and staying at home and all the concerts being cancelled and all that. It's going to be a tough one, though. It's going to be a tough one.
Oh
Yep.
yes, it's going to be. We hope that it's going to get better, especially when we have the likes of Nanli Bishman,
Yeah.
who is also in the house now.
What's up?
Nanle is a veteran entertainment consultant. Uh, in case people don't know who he is, because a lot of people don't get to know who the real men behind the business of entertainment are. And
Yep.
Nanle was one of the primary drivers of Chocolate City.
Yep.
Nanle, how are you today?
I think he's
We can't.
muted.
Yeah, but we can't hear you, Nanle. What's going on? I think you should check your mic.
I think Niger internet now. Niger internet as usual.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But he's very clear, though. Maybe he needs to unmute.
Yes, I think he
internet
needs to check. He needs to check up on his
Yeah, you might
on
have
his
to unmute at
yeah.
the beginning. Let's. I think he's hearing us right now. Can you hear us? Give us thumbs up. Yeah, he's
He can
hearing
hear
us.
us. Yeah,
Yeah,
he can hear
Okay,
us loud and
but we
clear.
can't hear you. Yeah,
I can hear you. I think maybe it's your internet.
but the internet looks good from a video perspective.
Video
We're giving
perspective.
Matthew a little time to join us, and he's in the house. So
Mr.
we'll give it
Mat,
a shot.
Barka de
Hey, what's up, guys?
Barka de Salah.
Baraka
Barka de Salah.
You understand how Barka de Salah?
Barka de Salah, of course, I understand.
Okay. So yeah. So as Thomas was saying earlier on, and as I said before, I don't know how we're gonna live with this, especially with the promoters. As I said, that live interaction, live experience is key. You understand what I'm saying? So with all these finding a way to go entertainment, have concerts and all that on a digital platform, I don't know how that field will. I mean, people like Matthew as the industry that understands, that's one of the pioneers of this, event, bringing people together and artists together and getting that feel and artists connecting with the audience, with their fans. I don't even know how this is going to
I
turn.
think from a long-term perspective, I think the industry will be fine, right? In the next, I'll say 2 years, when we have a cure or at least a vaccine for COVID, I think the world will go back to normal. I think what we're discussing is more like from this point on till when that vaccine comes, right? Because once that vaccine comes, the whole world will be comfortable with going back to how everything was. Because just like flu and many other, we've dealt with similar Ebola and things like that. People got comfortable when they found a solution to it. But now it's just between now and that time, which could be a year from now, is what most people are saying. A year from now, how can the industry sustain itself? I mean, there's the slow going back to normal life, which I believe will be more of the important roles. The concerts and the shows. Oof, that's going to be tough, because look at the way sports is handling it. Take for example how sports, soccer, Bundesliga, I believe, was the first to come back. They're playing in an empty stadium, um, and again they try to limit the interaction, but it's difficult in sports, right? There's still got to be some level of contact, right? And they just make sure they test people and just monitor it that way. Music is a bit different, obviously. When you go to a concert, I mean, you guys have been part of doing shows, Nally and Matthew and Musi, you guys know how it is. When you want, the more people you want, you can't say, okay, we only want 25% of the capacity because we want to do social distancing. From a promoter's perspective, like, so what's the point, really? You want to maximize obviously your venue, the experience. So how do you really go with that mindset? Is it even worth doing when you're only trying to do 25%? Sports, I get it. Sports is a competitive thing, so people can compete without a fan base. But with music, music without the fans and the concert, to me, I mean, it doesn't make sense, from a long term or at least short term perspective. So it's going to be interesting. I think in December, will be a big deal, right? Because I think people are like, between now and December, people are like, cool, we don't need to go to shows. We'll be fine. We won't die. But December, I want to see how people are going to react. Again, maybe the world will be back to normal by December. I don't know. But we hope so, yeah. But
sorry, but let's quickly find out if Nanli can, if we can hear Nanli now.
Nanli, can we hear you? We can hear him, but he can hear us.
You can hear us, but we can't hear him.
Yeah. How about Matthew? Yeah. Hi, Matthew. Nice to have you on.
Hi, I can hear you guys.
Okay, we can hear you.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, sir.
Let's give Nanli, let's take a quick short 20-second break. Let's give Nanli another opportunity to quickly check his mic.
Yeah, maybe you can, Lali, maybe you can log off and log back on, and then try again. I think that might be.
So we'll be back shortly. Let's, reintroduce everybody.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, we are back. Hello, everybody.
Hello, Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah,
finally, we can hear you.
Finally, we can hear you.
Welcome back.
Okay.
Welcome
back.
Okay,
thank you. I've been hearing everybody, and as Tokwe said, it's gonna be very hard right now. The brands I know, as you said, December is gonna be. This year will be a total different kind of December this year, because first of all, The popular venue is Echo Hotel. Echo Hotel at the moment is a shutdown.
Mm.
Now brands that do all these events and the likes of the Matthew who bring all of us together and pay all of us right now, we will be waiting on them. Artists right now, this is a turning point for them. What can I invest in apart from only this?
Right.
So because some of my clients are like, yo, now because at the moment I'm in Jos, I got stuck in Jos from Abuja, so I had to come down to Jos. Some of them are thinking of investing into farming. I'm like, yo, I don't know anything about farming. I have to find out. So this has given birth to a new life to a lot of artists, first
Right.
of all, and a lot of people. Everybody's trying to find out what can they do apart from the only thing they can do, which is performing right now. And now for Africa, it's going to be a different thing because right now you need to learn how to earn money digital wise
Mm-hmm.
All right.
because for everybody, because Nigerian African artists were not taking it seriously except for South African artists who have a structure. Now this is
Right.
gonna give birth to a structure to the Nigerian artists and entertainment industry. It's not only Apple, it's not only Tidal. So right now the platform has to come for Africans to come for African consumption. So
Yeah.
this, but December is totally gonna be a total different December. Matthew, I don't know what you guys are planning. If you guys want virtual performance and
Let's
if
find
it's
out.
gonna
Let's
be
find
the
out from
same.
Matt. Let's find out from Matthew. Matthew,
Yeah.
we're having, this discussion about, the business side of entertainment, and you're an integral part of this whole thing, especially being, the founder of Industry Nights,
Industry
co-founder of
night.
the Music Assembly Against Human Trafficking and stuff like that. So, with all these challenges that COVID-19 is posing, the way the world is changing right now, what do you think are the solutions going forward, especially with all the challenges that it's posing now in the entertainment industry, especially in Africa?
What the challenges are? Well, I mean, I think the challenges are pretty obvious. But the major thing is how we're going to address those challenges. And different people are taking different routes to it. Um, some people are going into the driving concerts, driving movies. The driving culture is coming back. Some people are going doing virtual concerts, IG Live. You have the Versus TV thing going on with Swiss Beats and Timberland. But the thing is that the business model is not working. It's not going to work or doesn't work using those platforms. You know, the business model is I make money from ticket sales, I make money from sponsorship, I make money from food and beverage. And when you're telling people to reduce, when there's no human interaction, there's little revenue to be made. You know, so um, it's either people just want to maintain brand relevance for the time
Yeah.
being and do all these and take all these platforms and you want to get your brand in there and you know keep that top of the mind awareness and or you just want to chill and wait it out, you know, and be hopeful that there will be a vaccine and more therapeutics and the numbers go down, which over the past week or two we've seen positive stories that at least Europe is opening back up gradually. I mean, but there's also fears of a second wave, as they're calling it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, phase two.
In China, they seem to have,
yeah, yeah.
gone
So,
to the second wave of it. Yes.
to cut the long short the story, as a business, it's not working, especially for us in Africa, because in Africa, you can tell us to people. Everybody say, "Oh, go digital, go virtual, go digital," but we don't have the numbers, and we don't have the numbers for digital to make sense.
Yeah.
If you're
You
doing
think so?
anything, no, we don't have the numbers. No, we don't. We don't have the
Yeah.
numbers online. we have the numbers, there are people, but how many people are online? How many people have access? How many people have data? How many people have the money? If you now want to bill, how many people now have the money to pay? How many people have the platforms to pay? You know, like really, am I going to pay $1 for, you know, people don't have that cash. People are not even online. You know the amount of data you know what it costs for someone to stream, like even this interview now, like you know how much data is going to be costing my phone. There's not everybody that can afford to come on online and spend this much time, you know.
Yes.
And you need to have those numbers to be able to for anything to make sense. You need to be able to sell. Okay, like you need to have a platform that you can sell 100,000 subscribers at $1 each. That's usually the benchmark for these IT virtual digital things.
Yeah.
$1, 100,000 people. Trust me, it's not easy to get $1. Even in Nigeria, it's like the most populous place. It's not easy for you to get 100,000 people to pay $1 online.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, for me, you know, let's just pray it goes away. You know.
So, Matthew, do you think that from what Matthew is saying, do you think that short form content, you know, could actually be the way forward in terms of, you know, trying to get the numbers online, considering how much it costs?
Yeah, I think Matthew hit the nail on the head in terms of you're battling two things. One is the economics, right? A lot of people can afford the data or to get online. So I think that's one of the biggest challenge for digital platforms in Africa as a whole, not even Nigeria, is access and the cost of it. So whether it's a short form or long form, to your question, I don't think it's going to have a material impact, because again, if people cannot afford it, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, conceptually, you would think that shorter form content will be better than longer form because I'm spending less on data, right? So if I watch 5-minute clip, I'm spending less than if I watch a 1-hour clip. I mean, it makes sense conceptually, but I think the general economics of it's still the biggest challenge, in my opinion, that people just can't afford to load, data on their phone and plug in, because that's what it boils down to, right? Plugging into the virtual world. Yeah.
But then again, Mustafa, I was listening to Daniel Ek a few days ago. He was on Bloomberg and he was giving an interview, and he was talking about, you know, the way forward in terms of content distribution. Right. And one thing keeps coming to mind, and that's technology. So there's different types of technology now, and you can have platforms that actually can distribute their content, and you can actually listen to their content offline, just like Spotify does. Do you think that, you know, there's a way that, you know, the industry could look into that and then try to find a solution that works in that manner as well?
Well, you know what's interesting is you see all this Apple Music, Spotify, and all these other DSPs, digital streaming platforms. They're coming to Africa aggressively because they see the numbers. They don't know the challenges yet. Yeah, maybe they have an idea of what the challenges are, which is the economics of it, because everybody wants to get online. I mean, the younger population wants to get online, but because of lack of resources, they cannot, right? So the interest and the desire is there, but you still have a big hurdle. What I think can be done is all these telcos need to come together to find out a pricing model that can allow maybe another 15 to 20% of the people to move in. Because in business, and not only we appreciate this, is you always have pricing model and target audience, right? You kind of have that skill where if you reduce data price by X, you expect Y people to flow into the revenue stream. You know, so they need to sit down, have that serious conversation. Because think about it now, even from a marketing perspective, Matthew. Now you have all these, and Nali and Musi, you have all these brands that used to spend on entertainment, live entertainment. They're saving their money. Even the banks and the data, they're making money. The telcos, they're making money during this period. It's not like this lockdown is hurting them.
Yeah,
they're making, but they're not spending. they're not spending
because some the ones that are hurting obviously are not spending. Then the ones that are even making money are now using it as an opportunity to save money.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, so they're not looking at it. Oh, since let's just save. Okay, So and I can tell you that all the sponsors, all the corporates, and this for me, like engaging everyone. Nobody's even talking anything major for 2020 again. 2020
Yep.
is
2020
COVID
is gone.
and staying
It's
alive.
gone.
Yeah,
It's a
2020 is
wash.
gone.
It's a time for readjustment.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
so
See,
any activations anybody is doing is around COVID and
Yeah.
around
palliatives.
CSR.
Palliatives.
Yeah, palliatives. How they can help, help the community. So all the communication, all the brand, everything is around that. So
Right.
people are not doing concerts anymore, but they are sponsoring isolation centers. They are doing. It's completely. I think next year. But it's good to engage your. And don't get me wrong on these whole numbers and IT thing. Yeah, the thing
Yes.
is, 5 years ago it was worse. So every
Yeah.
year it gets better. There are more streaming platforms. People can buy music. There's iTunes Nigeria, there's Boomplay, there's Music Time. There are all these platforms that are doing much better and much better numbers than they were doing 5 years ago. So it's growing, but we're not just there yet on over here. You know.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
not yet.
so yeah, we're not there yet. Spotify is not even in Nigeria yet. They want to come. Tidal wants to come, but it's not that easy.
So, Matthew,
So
do you think it's a cost issue? Is it a infrastructural issue, or is it a combination of all those issues?
is the least thing is it being a cost issue? That it's not a
Okay.
cost issue at all. Yeah, those guys have billions of dollars. They can go anywhere. The thing is, the structural issue. From especially from the legal standpoint, from the government issues,
The government
licensing,
policies and all that.
government
Yes.
policies. Yeah, even the telcos. Don't think the big telcos really don't want these guys coming. Because they kind of control the music streaming business in Nigeria. So the
Yeah.
big telcos really don't want. Even them Boomplay, them all those people, every other they all rely on the telcos. And
Yeah.
they have a grip over it.
Yes.
So the telcos are not even making it easy for these companies to come
They won't.
because they
To
know
come,
they're,
yeah.
they're
Okay, you guys.
yeah. So
We're gonna take a short break, and we have a question for Mustafa. But in the meantime, while the break is on, can you guys please just share to your pages or your Facebook pages that you're online, so that people can see that you're online. So Mustafa, we'll be back to you in a.
How do you do that?
Just share on your page that your Facebook page. Just
Oh,
Feed
okay.
share the stream.
Okay.
Yeah.
let me try.
Hi guys, we're back. Tokwe seems to have left the studio briefly. Okay, he's back now. What's happening to his connection? Anyway, so Mustafa,
Yes.
you have been to North Africa, quite a bit, and there's quite a lot going on in terms of, the North African market when it comes to entertainment. And a lot of people don't seem to realize that there's quite a lot going on there. Do you think that, if there's a strong collaboration between Sub-Saharan Africa and North Africa, we'll be able to harness, all the potentials that we have in terms of entertainment in the African market?
Well, I would have said you should have directed that question to Matthew, but because Matthew has not been to North Africa. But I've had
Yes.
to work with Matthew in industry night South Africa was up the roof, and I wanted to further to thank everybody that worked on industry night. I think it was 2012 or 2014 Matthew, I think, forget about. So I think I think
Yeah, 2013.
2013 it was nobody ever knew industry that actually pulled that off. You know, that was a big concert, and we had all the South African artists, and they worked with us on board, and we have all the support from like Jimmy Jad, who we worked for a long time for mine. And with the North African, what I see with the North African market, yeah,
Yes.
Africa, I mean everybody across the globe has accepted Afrobeat one way or another. Hypothetically speaking, Afrobeat is just the in thing. If you talk about um, North Africa, where Tunisia, for example, who I'm very conversant with, they
Yes.
are they are big in the Afro, the Afro music, in a way that they're not used to all the artists yet. You understand what I'm saying? But if you take a few artists and that they are used, which I don't want to mention names, yeah, I think there's good collaboration between North African music entertainment and African music and the Western music. Yeah. Remember, Tunisia is a francophone country. It's not a francophone country, but it's more French. You understand?
Yes.
And they listen to a lot of francophone music. From Senegal and other francophone. And Nigerian music has just started getting into Tunisia, and it's growing big. It's growing big. So I see a huge opportunity. I mean, I was talking to Matthew some time back. I said, look, I guess we got to do another collaboration. We got to go to North Africa because now, one thing I like Matthew for, Matthew takes risks. I mean, he really takes anytime. I say, you know what? If it's Muhammad, let's go. If it's heaven, let's go to heaven and create industry. I think it's
Yeah.
a good. I see a good opportunity in North Africa, a collaboration in North Africa and Nigeria. I mean, art music has been in places like Morocco, Egypt. If you say you have huge uh, influx of tourists, understand? Um, especially during summer, DJ, international DJ, and you are having one venue, you're having over 40,000 people for just DJs. You understand what I'm saying? So I think
Yeah.
I think Tunisia is a good place that we have to start looking at. I mean, from a promoter standpoint, I think Tunisia will be viable. It's going to be a lot of work. We got to open Tunisia to Nigeria and Nigeria to Tunisia. But I think it will make sense. According to it will make sense that we do Tunisia, and I've been talking to Matthew about it, and we've been putting our head together, see how we can also, put our foot on some of this North African countries, Tunisia, Algeria, and I mean, Nigerians have been going to Egypt and Morocco, but Tunisia, Algeria is another place I think we should be able to put our foot on. So I think it's going to be a viable market. The collaboration is going to be good, and sponsors as usual, as we were talking about earlier on, is all about sponsorship and all that. And also the artist is willing to say, you know what, we want to experiment, we want to experiment this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like in 2012, which I'll give you an example, sorry to digress a little bit. When I took Ice Prince to Zimbabwe, Ice Prince didn't have that because we worked with Lani on that as well. And Ice Prince was like, he was a little bit skeptical because they're used to South Africa. You
Yeah.
understand? So when we did Zimbabwe, and the turnout was crazy. Now, the promoters in Zimbabwe are not saying that, it makes sense. So, you understand? Let's do more
Yeah.
than that. And from there on, you see, artists started going to Zimbabwe. And when we did South Africa, we had challenges, but Matthew and I had, we were hell bent in saying, you know what, this is what we need. We need to take this there. We need them to understand. It's not like now that South African artists and Nigerian artists are doing a lot of collaboration. I can say, hypothetically speaking, industry night got a growth because that's when they had the DJ Oskido did the collaboration with Mehdi, right? I think
Yeah.
so that's when they had that collaboration, and it started springing up. A lot of collaboration started springing up from there. So I think North Africa would be a good place, for us to look into really.
Speaking of speaking of North Africa, so Matthew, you started this fantastic initiative, on anti-human trafficking. how did that come about? You know, will you tell us a little something about that? Hello, Matthew, can you hear us?
His network is that's Nigerian network for you.
Oh yeah, Matthew, are you back?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah, I'm back.
speaking of North Africa, we were talking. I was just asking, you know, that you came up with a fantastic initiative, you know, called the anti-human trafficking. Can you tell us a little bit about that? What's the Music Assembly Against Human Trafficking?
So it's a collective. It's a union of people in the music industry trying to raise money and trying to raise awareness about human trafficking.
Yes.
Nigeria is a source, destination, and transit country when it comes to human trafficking. In the terms that people from Nigeria are being trafficked, people are being trafficked through Nigeria, and people end up in Nigeria from trafficking. So we are like, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes, we are
okay.
with you.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so Nigeria in West Africa and in the world generally, Nigeria is at the epicenter of human trafficking. And in my state, in particular, Edo State, I'm from Edo State. We are at the epicenter of the epicenter.
That's ground zero.
Yeah, that's ground exactly.
That's
That's
ground
ground
zero for
zero
trafficking.
of human
Yeah.
trafficking. Yeah. So being from Edo State, that was what was possibly my major motivation for setting that up. And I brought friends, people like Two Face, people like Larry Gaga, Fowles the Bad Guy. So what basically we do is that we do concerts and we work with NAPTIP, the
Okay.
National Agency for Prohibition of trafficking in persons. That's the Nigerian. Let me move away from where I am. It's getting a bit noisy.
Okay.
That's the Nigerian agency in charge of human trafficking. So what we do is we do concerts, we do like pop-ups. We support them what they're doing. We raise money, we raise awareness. But the way we operate is that when we raise money or raise funds, we just hand it over to more experienced organizations to implement.
Okay.
So that's pretty much what we do.
That's pretty
Um,
amazing.
yeah. We've been doing this since 2016. We hope we can do more. So with time, hopefully we'll do more. I mean, like, when you hear all these stories, Nigerians get trapped in North Africa, Nigerians are trapped in Libya,
Yeah,
Nigerians
Libya.
get sold in Dubai.
Libya.
Yeah, Libya. It's a horrible situation coming out of Libya. You know, the kind of news that we get to hear about. You know, how people are being treated and all that. But it all still comes back to to the issue of governance. You know, in Nigeria.
Yeah.
If, in my opinion, that is, if I believe that if things were, were in place, at least if we had some social institutions that were working, we will not have this much of a challenge when it comes to human trafficking. So, Tope, I hope Bati is getting an NEA award this year for his anti-human trafficking efforts.
Absolutely.
Is there gonna be virtual NEA awards?
That's in consideration. We've been having a lot of meetings on that. So the options on the table, like most other events, is either you go virtual or you don't do anything.
Virtual.
You
So
guys
I think
do virtual
virtual.
because
Yes.
I've been seeing universities in America doing the virtual graduation.
Yep.
Yeah, so you guys should think about that so that
That's exactly what we're doing. Actually, that's a good idea.
so
So
that there will
that's
be
what
no
we're looking.
overlap.
Yep. Absolutely.
We hope that the
Yep.
2020. I hope the internet will work. Because
I hope the internet will work.
We gotta try.
But is the internet situation in Nigeria, for instance, is it that bad?
Well,
For those of us in Nigeria, you can see.
I mean, compared to some of us that have the experience of or the opportunity of like going abroad and using broadband or whatever kind of internet we're using, Nigeria is really, really not good, not very good. I mean, but some companies that are here that do fiber optics. You know, if you have fiber optics in your house, I think it would be better. But it's all this data that we use from all these telcos. My brother is all waste of money. And even some of the internet providers, I can give you an example in my house. I have like almost 2 different internet providers, and they are not working. I have to use my mobile phone now, use the data on my phone, try and see if I can use. I'll be switching between datas.
Yeah.
And it's so bad in Nigeria that what does rain have to do with internet provide?
Rain has to do with a lot of things with my brother Nandi. Even when there's rain, it's as per Nigerian factor.
Look at Nigeria. If it's raining, DSTV stops.
DSTV stops.
DSTV stops. So can you
That's
just
funny.
imagine? So it's really bad. It's down to governance, and then I really would actually say there's something lately since this COVID started. We, the younger generation, 45, 50 downwards, are not interested in governance. We're interested in fast money. So right now, that is why the same set of people have been ruling us for probably since 1970 something.
Yep.
Buhari is just like a recycling. You never see a young person interested in, let me go through the perks of learning what governance is. It's just like me and you now. If they say, okay, come and become governor of a particular state, you don't even know some things. We don't know some things. And that is the major problem our generation is having. Entertainment, oil and entertainment came and it looked as if that was just it. But the perks of learning how to govern something, having a structure, down to our entertainment industry now, most artists leave their labels without knowing if there's a structure or not. And that's the problem. Most of them end up crashing. Only for the lucky ones that end up being picked because of the songs they have by an international label, and then everything just boils down to them. Who uses entertainment lawyers right now? It's now that people are getting to know that, contracts. Look at the saga on Twitter. Cynthia Morgan and
that's tweeting. Not tweeting. That's trending.
That's trending. These are all the things. Are we ready? You need to be ready yourself before you start looking at outside. Look at what is happening. Most people, I have a hot song and that is it. That is why most Nigerian artists are actually suffering. There is no structure. For those that were in the label, let me use Chocolate City as an example. Chocolate City had a structure.
Yep.
If an artist decides to leave, right now you don't know the relationships they had that you were leveraging on. You now have to start building your own relationship because they pay for these relationships.
Yep.
They maintain these relationships are expensive. So now if you leave, you don't know what happens to you. Need a PR, which the label had. You need your radio plugins. You need your international plugins. You need a whole lot of things, and can you pay for it?
Yep. I think, Nali, to your point, Nali, sorry to cut you off. I think every artist, every label, before they sign an artist, should require that they go and take a course in the music business industry, because a lot of them don't understand that making an artist is beyond just making a song. If you think about what label services does, I mean, even I had to go back and learn the whole system because I was more on the event side until I started working a lot more with folks on the music industry, like label side. It's a lot of work that goes into it. It's a lot of contracts and everything, and a lot of these artists don't understand what the label does to build or develop an artist and promote, because one is to develop and one is to promote, right? They don't understand. So I think it's important that there's a class or a session or certificate that they need to go and earn before you actually sign them, so they understand the intricacies of the industry.
Yeah, I wanted to say something. For those of you there, outside the country, please.
Mm.
I managed Ice Prince for like 7 years. I'm
Yep.
not fully into it. We managers stumbled on the job.
Mm.
Please,
Yep.
if you guys can get, what's this guy this guy's name? What's his name? Justin Bieber's former manager, who was
Okay.
with Usher.
Okay.
If anybody can get anybody, bring managers in, because all of us, most managers is book show, and that is it.
And that is it. Mm. Mm.
So
Okay.
it is COVID has given birth to. I started thinking, I like, really, you see a manager carrying an artist bag. You see,
Mm.
there is more than that. It's more than traveling. It's
Yep.
more than, you see, most artists don't have their business manager. Most artists are not involved in their business. I'll
Mm.
use Jay-Z as an example. He is involved in every part of his business.
Yep.
He might have the round table, but he'll sit down and want to know, because he doesn't know anything about it. Look at what's his name? Swissbeat. Swissbeat had to go back to school to learn about music business.
Yep.
It's more
Exactly.
than just recording a song, having your
Mm.
manager, you guys are flying, sleeping in different hotels, meeting babes and all that. It's more than that. Now COVID has come. No performance. What next?
Yep.
Everybody's doing live. After how long can this sustain you?
Yep. You're right. I think that's definitely something to look into, Nanle, is how to get folks who can come into the industry and continue to train and educate us on how to run the business locally and also compete globally,
Yeah,
right? And that's important that
very,
we
very
understand.
important.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to add on to what Lali was just saying just now. They have, you know, we coming from back in the days. I talk to a lot of people, and the promoters right now that are doing events. What most of them, what they are doing. I mean, I don't want to name names. They are getting a lot of stuff on the pot of gold. When we started this thing, when we were in diaspora, and we were bringing artists, I'm big up to a lot of artists that I've worked with. This for a lot of years, and I've maintained relationships with them. You understand? The managers and the artists not really involved in the business mostly. You understand? They don't know the business. And some of the artists back then, I mean, thank God for now that some of them are. They started understanding the business. People like the video, Whiskey and all, Two Face and all that. The problem is, you see, the record label is there. They build the artist, they take an artist from nowhere or from somewhere and build the artist. A lot of money. It's highly expensive
Yep.
to develop an artist. Now the artist starts becoming famous. Yeah? And of course, that artist, what do you call that thing? Gets to, and they start misbehaving. It's not that they were misbehaving, because they didn't know where it should be, going forward, or from the beginning, or from the get-go. So you find that a lot of artists and record labels, they get into conflicts and fight and so on, saying that honestly, the artist should understand that the label, they put in a lot of work. You understand? And
Right.
the mistake, I think, that, or the little problem that is between the artist and label, is because there was not much transparency. You understand? Within the label and the artist. You get my point. I've worked with someone that Toba has worked with, that is a friend of mine, that owns the record label, and the artist became big, but actually the artist was not getting what was supposed to be, what was due to him. Now, the artist mingle with other artists. You've seen other artists driving Ferrari, Lamborghinis, and the Mercedes, and living in big houses in Texas. You understand? They interact, they talk. You're making all this money, you're getting all these shows. Why is it that, why is it you're still where you are? You understand? And the labels, because they're not transparent, as I say, the level of transparency, you understand? There's some things you have to keep within yourself. You understand? As a mentioned. But in that relationship, that's what I think. That's what I believe, that will keep an artist, with a label for a long time. Look at
Yeah.
Chocolate. They've been together for years. Regardless of now Anna is doing his thing. It comes a time where you build the label, you decide to do your own thing as well. that doesn't mean that you guys have any bad blood or that it wasn't. There was no understanding. You understand what I'm saying? But look at Chocolate City. Chocolate City is the living witness that label and artists can coexist and work and be very transparent to a certain level. And
Yeah.
they are, because I think it was one of the most successful, even not the most successful record label in Nigeria. You understand? I mean, going with Nanli, and I've had the opportunity to work with some of those people, those labels, and I kind of understand, as a promoter, you know what I mean? So I think that going forward, artists and promoters, artists and record labels should always have that understanding from the beginning and be able to say, nobody's going to go greedy here,
Right. I think.
And more,
do you think that it is more a case of greed, or it's just simply a case of these guys are not, a lot of them are not tutored, or there's no clarity when they,
I think it's a combination. I think it's a combination of a lot of what you mentioned and what Musti and Nali mentioned as well. It's okay. Let's take aside greed for a little bit, because greed at the end of the day is all what is called it's capitalism, right? That's greed.
Yeah.
Capitalism is greed.
Yeah.
So let's take that apart for a while. Let's talk about the fact that, take yourself as a label. You've been investing in artists for 5 years and they've not blown. You've spent, say, I'm making these numbers up. Say you spend 50 million naira in 5 years.
Yeah, not making
to
50
build.
million is very possible.
Yeah, okay, fine. So you blow all that 50 million, the artist didn't blow. Then you now get the sixth artist that now becomes, okay, it's getting buzz. Okay, you're spending money. When you want to draft a contract, what do you think you're going to do as a capitalist? Don't you think you're going to not only want to recoup on this current investment or on the previous investment as well? You have to attempt to recoup, because you're running a business. You're running a business.
So there is no greed, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah? Exactly. Yeah.
No greed in the labor. What I am concerned about, or what my whole point is, artists and the label have to have some sort of transparency and some sort of understanding. You understand? Let me tell you something. For example, I worked with EME, okay? I worked with EME 10 years back or 9 years back. You understand? Beautiful record label. They have that relationship going. You get what I'm saying? Right. Whatever might happen, it has happened. But what I'm trying to say is that you cannot say a label, which I agree with you, Chokwe, that a label is greedy. No, because they spend money. Right. If I have two artists, and I spend 50 million on one artist, and still yet he no upload. You understand what I'm saying? Then I get another artist, the second artist makes one song, and we're all over the place. Of course, people want to recoup money they spend.
And that's where Musi and Nali, I think you guys appreciate that's where a lot of the 80-20, 70-30 deals come into play. Most outsiders out of our industry will look like, that's slavery, that's ripping off. I had to explain to a lot of people around me who are not entertainment people. They're like just business people entirely. And I show them sample of contract that I've helped execute for major artists in the industry today and in the last 10 years. And they'll be like, I will never agree to that. Now 80-20, why? No, that's nonsense. And I'll break down to them what it involves building an artist and developing an artist. They're like, okay, it starts to make sense eventually. So I am for trying to, and I also understand an artist can outperform his contract. For example, an artist can come in out of the door, it starts to make boom. We can take a recent artist like Joe Boy, for example, who did very well last year. I can imagine, I'm not involved with the management and all, but I can imagine that all equation, he has outperformed his contract, because you cannot tell me that he has not made for the label more than what he's been invested in it. We're all industry people, we can see the numbers, we can imagine the numbers. So there are ways to come back to the table and renegotiate contracts. The problem these people have is they don't want to. It's ego. They don't want to renegotiate. All this labor, they no, it's no way. You got to be able to renegotiate contract when they outperform.
So it's all still a case of clarity.
What I'm saying is that when labor has, you have multiple artists, and of course, one artist will blow. Maybe all the artists will blow at the same time. But just because one artist is not performing, you understand, or his music is not performing, doesn't mean that you throw him away, right? Because he's got to a contract. You understand what I'm saying? So let's assume that the other artist makes, quote unquote, brings the dollar bill in, right? Then some. Well, you will not say because I spent so much money as a label on the other artists, and I'm trying to recruit from the other artists what I'm spent from the other artists. I don't think it should work that way. That's what I'm saying. There should be a renegotiation on the table. You understand? Whereby, it's like it's a win-win situation, Chuck, but the artist don't want to lose, the label doesn't want to lose. You understand? It's business. You got what I'm saying?
But Muti, you do understand. I get your point. It's not like I would start telling the artist that is doing well that my guy, sorry, I have to make all the money. No, I'm not saying that, but it's in the terms that you have to understand that the 80-20, the 70-30 deals that hey, the reason why is because I'm spending and I'm still going to spend. Hey, if you have performed your contract, we'll come back on the table because there's no guarantee when I'm signing that contract that you're going to blow. So why would I give you a favorable contract when I'm spending upfront, you're spending nothing, you're going to want a lot, house, car, feeding, allowance, all that stuff. It's money upfront. So I'm putting in the capital. You're not putting in any equity other than your vocals and your brand. That's it. But I'm the one spending all the money. So it has to favor me. I mean, any business. I mean, it's not even only in the music industry, any business. So they have to
No, let's
understand.
look at football. Look at soccer.
I totally agree with you, right? But what I'm saying is that they have to be this relationship. Okay? In any business you do, they have to be this relationship. Look at let's digress a little bit. Look at the model Bill Gates and Microsoft. You understand? If you take
Yes.
huh? What?
Well, one of our viewers, Raman Raji, he's also an entertainment guru, and he lives in the United States and in Nigeria at the same time. Now, he made a comment. He said the Nigerian entertainment industry should set her terms and conditions for usage of our content. So all this still comes back to the issue of clarity.
Wait, what do you mean? Expatiate on that. What does it mean that they should say that again? I should get
okay,
right.
Like if I understand what he's saying, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In a lot of industries, yeah, you have
Right.
policymakers, and those policymakers work in consonance with the government.
Right.
Now, you like take for instance, I dealt with an architect recently, and he was telling me that there's a base percentage, you understand, of the total contract sum that he must be paid as his professional fees. Now,
Right.
this has become a matter of policy now.
Right.
Yeah, in Nigeria. So there are quite a few industries that are implementing that presently as we speak. But we don't seem to see anything like that in the entertainment industry.
We have P-Man. There's
Okay.
P-Man. It's just that P-Man is there are two sections in P-Man, right?
Two factions. There are two factions. Yes, that's another problem, isn't it? There are two factions in P-Man.
Two factions in P-Man. Because right now, most brands now, when you are signing their contracts for performance, they'll tell you tax. And at the end of the year, they send you, P-Man sends you, royalties have been paid by radio stations. How many artists get it from P-Man? P-Man, first of all, it's just a body that in Nigeria, left to me, I'll say it's just a body that is just eating money.
Yeah.
Like right now, nobody wants to be part of P-Man. Them Audu, Obiasika, Efe, Morogbe, and they've been fighting. It's been for years. They've been fighting over this P-Man issue. It needs to just come up. The government just needs to be part of it to stop it. But right now, what if the older faction is giving somebody in government something? So you see, before that can be sorted out, it's if the radio stations and other people stop paying royalties to P-Man, that you guys need to get your acts together before we pay royalties for content being used. Because P-Man is getting money. For some people to be there for so long, since I came into the industry 1998, 2008, 2009, there are names that they have been there.
And they're still the same names.
And they're still the same names. And then how can you conduct elections and then they'll say anonymous? Or what do they call it? That nobody's contesting with them. And it is all over. So right now, these things have to be sorted out before everybody will want to be part of this thing that Raji spoke about. Because see, you will attend the their end of year meetings and what it is the same thing. This faction is fighting that faction. No, let it go to court. They'll do elections. They'll scatter the elections. There's fight here and there. Oh no, but at the end of the day, if you go back and ask for your royalties from radio or whatsoever, they'll tell you we've paid to payment. So which faction? The older faction or the newer faction?
Yes. So what you see right now, yeah, there's a parallel organization, that has been formed that's doing more or less the same thing as P-Man. And the issue has gone to court. There's been a suit filed in court. And the courts have put a stay order on the operations of both of them. What this has created is a massive vacuum where artists now have to hire ambulance chasers. Sorry, I had to use that, but there are a lot of yes, there are a lot of legal mercenaries who are approaching these artists, and they are the ones going after content distributions organizations to collect royalties on behalf of the artists. And these royalties that they are asking for are extortionist rates that even the artists are not aware that they are actually asking for that much on their behalf. You understand? And that is creating a lot of challenges whereby a lot of content distribution organizations have refused to even pay anymore.
True.
So there has to be a scenario where the entertainment industry has to come together. There has to be a strong moderation, in my opinion, in order to be able to solve this challenge. Because Nigeria's second largest export after oil is entertainment.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go, I've been to a few countries, and I'm shocked when I walk into a club. If the DJ perchance recognizes you or suspects that you're Nigerian, it starts to play Afro beats. You'll be wondering, where did you get those tracks from? And they're like, but they do play those tracks in their clubs.
Yeah.
So we need to monetize it a bit more.
Also, I found out something last year. Sorry, Ogamuste.
No problem. Go ahead.
In the UK, you sign up for PRS and everything.
Yes.
People, as you said earlier, people are registering artists to collect their royalties without the artist even knowing.
Exactly.
And you begin to wonder, and you hear, oh, I'm representing this artist, I'm representing artists, and what is it? They'll just show one or two pictures with the artist. We traveled here, and then who gives you the right to collect the royalties? And then, as I said earlier, most artists are not involved in their business. Their own is, oh, let me get on stage, let me perform, let people shout, and that is it. And now that the chips are down, there are no performance. Everybody's beginning to ask, oh, what's my PRS ID number? What is this? And the funny thing, if in the UK they'll send you a detailed spreadsheet about everything, and then which account it was being paid to. And I wish most artists will actually sit down this period and begin to, because an artist came to me fighting with his manager that, oh, Nally, this guy collected over $15,000 in America, collected over 20,000 pounds in the UK. I like, what happened? Were you not involved? He said, oh no, he had all the login details. I like, it is your business. You need to be part of it. Now, where's the money? We are now beginning to track. We are saying, okay, send us the spreadsheet. He sent spreadsheet. We actually saw about $15,000. Then guess what? The manager is saying, oh, we use it to pay for PR. I like, wait, with whose consent? And I told him, this money, I will just take it that, oh, sorry, this money is gone because you can't get it back. Yeah. Do you want to start going to court? The best thing right now, but see, if he's still gonna manage you, get your login details, and you guys need to be part of it together. Yep. And that is what artists need to do. They need to be part of their business.
To be honest, Nigeria, for me, as far as I guess, because I'm not a label. I have a record label, but the way I put in the way I do my stuff, my contracts are different by artists. I have a few artists that just signed up, a couple of artists, young artists coming out. spending a lot of money right now trying to build those artists. But what I want to make you guys understand is, you see, when it comes to Nigeria, you've got wrong from the beginning. And it's going to be very difficult to put things back in place the way they should be. Because, look, we've been part of this. Not I've been part of a lot of these labels, working with the artists, having shows where even with the promoters, okay, you know what, we'll transfer the money to you later, we can make money from shows, and then later, things like that. So they've gotten this thing from the word get go. And it's going to be very difficult to bring this thing together now because the managers are trying to be celebrities.
Yeah.
The managers are also trying to be celebrity. The label owners are trying to be celebrity.
You're right.
Oh yeah, and that's what I found amazing. You for instance, Mustafa, you've been very quiet for a while. And a lot of questions have been asked around, especially in the industry, as like, where's Stronghold? Where's the giant Mustafa Alfa? Because you've done quite a lot in Southeast Asia, and I would have thought that at some point, you were going to actually come back to Nigeria and now start trying to to be a part of putting that structure in place of the business side of entertainment, because that's what you know how to do, the business side of things. What's going on there?
The truth about it is that Nigerians, they're too sharp for me. Let's be honest with you.
They're too sharp for you. Everybody too fast.
Let me tell you the thing about it. Strong Entertainment, I tell you, when I started Strong Entertainment way back in Southeast Asia, right, I didn't get one sponsor. I never did. Everything I have done in Malaysia and that time in Singapore, I remember before I even started the African music, I was with Lushington. I worked with Lady Gaga, 9 Inch Nails, Black Eyed Peas, all those big names. I was before I came into the entertainment thing, which big up to people like Tony Wakolo. This is one of the guys that taught me what I knew in the industry. And I respect a lot of people like Audu Mekori and stuff like that. They've been here. But the truth about it is that it wasn't easy for me to have done what I did when I was in Asia. You understand? And teaming up with people like, people like Bosu, Slick Beats Entertainment, Profit Entertainment, Orange Entertainment, and all those people. We sweated. We went a long way. We spent our own money. You understand? There was no sponsor. No who wants to sponsor a Nigerian guy. Once Nigerians, first of all, what thing that comes to the head in Southeast Asia is our lady today. These people are here. How to use my language. You understand?
Oh wow.
True. But we fought tooth and nail. We put African entertainment on the map. Southeast Asia. Chopper was part of Chopper was part of African Entertainment Award. And my gratitude goes to especially people like Chocolate City, Audu Mekori, Nali. These guys, they supported they supported us so much. Because I think we did more of Chocolate City than any other show. Nali, if I'm not mistaken. We
yes, more you're right.
Than any other show. You understand? Yep. In Malaysia. We did that. Okay? Now come to Nigeria. In 2013, we went into me and somebody, we collaborated with other people and we came up with the African Global DJ Award. Okay? It was 2013, 7 years ago. Okay? Now, just us, me and somebody alone, financially, we spent more than $500,000 at that time. What do you expect?
$500,000?
Yes, I'm telling you, confirm.
That's a huge investment.
Let's say something, Mr. Habib. This is not story. We have everything on email. All the ticket purchase, the flight, the money we paid in for we have all. Understand? We got messed up because we wanted to do this sponsorship thing. You understand what I'm saying? Depending on we got messed up, especially Ghana. From Ghana, they messed it up. This show was good. We tried to do it again, it didn't work. But let me tell you what happens. We suffered at that time. It was us. We put in our own financial money. We got people from Zenith Bank. Look, we went so broke because we've spent our own money. Okay? Not sponsors' money. And if we had known that we're going to have this, we're going to encounter this with sponsorship, we'll have scaled the event down a little bit. We'll have scaled down a little bit because the money we put in already, we'll have been able to pull off an event. Maybe in a smaller scale. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So, Sound City, big up Sound City. They gave us more support, cool FM. But at the end of the day, why I'm saying that Nigerian people too tough for me. That's the reason why I said, you know what? Let me take a little bit. Let me take a step backwards. Yeah. Let me go back to the drawing table. Yeah, and let me restructure this in the same best way I know how to do it. Because
Yes.
Nigeria, you have to do a lot of bureaucracy. You understand? You want sponsor, you have to do this. I don't know what they call it. These companies, they are I don't get power for that one. Look, I have my $1 million. It's my money. I put it in the show. Whether I make money or not, I'm satisfied. This is how I think because I don't want to go through that trouble of sponsorship anymore. So I'm doing why I've gone quiet for these years. Of course, I'm doing politics. I got involved in politics and here and there. And I traveled again. I know I'm trying to restructure. And I'm working right now. I have a lot of things on the table. People are like, when by the time I come back, they will know that yes, all these things all you are doing. I'm not getting to sponsor. People is not giving money. Nobody's going to give me money. I'm going to use my own money to do what I believe is right. I don't want to drag, I don't want to be this person with them. You know, I think I'm too old to start having heart attack and someone because of our experience of 2013 AGDA, my brother almost went crazy, if not because of that Diola Narade. Well, I've gone crazy. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to experience that thing again. That's why I don't you know what. Let me take a break. Let me do one more thing while I'm restructuring.
Nale,
Yep.
Yeah.
Tokpaye and Mustafa, from their experience following them to on the AGDA experience,
Yeah.
there were quite a few things that one would have thought would have happened, in terms of other people seeing the type of commitment that they had towards it. So basically meaning that there had to be something that was not just interesting but also profitable, probably.
Yeah.
Do you think that there's still a lot that needs to be done in terms of getting people interested in the business side of entertainment, getting investments and stuff? All these organizations that seem to sponsor, quote unquote, a lot of these events, a lot of them actually do not meet up to their commitments towards those events.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on those kind of scenarios?
Like okay, let me use Lagos as an example. You see, if you want to draw, if you want to draw an event in Lagos, there's
Yes.
only one place you have to use, which is Eco Hotel. Eco
Okay.
Hotel is about 20 million naira.
20 million.
Yes, almost
Wow.
20 million naira.
Yep.
That's minus sound, minus
Yes.
stage. You have to bring Eddie Lawani to do stage for you, or you bring what's this other guy's name? There are like 2-3 people that do stage in Lagos.
Bolaji. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bolaji. You have to bring them. That's a different figure. You have
Yep.
to do red carpet. You have to do security. First of all, a hotel is a hotel that has
Yep.
a venue.
Yeah.
Right now,
it's not an event center. It's not built for event center.
It's not built for event center. So right now, anybody you will not reap the money in 2, 3, 4 years. Probably 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years. That's when you start reaping the money. Because see, Diana Rose came to Lagos some years back. She saw tables. She went back that she's not performing.
Wow. Why?
They said why that she can't be performing to people sitting down drinking on a table. She's using it is not. She was talking about a concert. Not
She had a culture shock.
she had a culture shock. And so you see, first of all, for Nigeria, if anybody would invest in a proper O2-like venue,
Yes.
thank God for Africa. Are you aware churches use a hotel?
Oh yes,
Wow.
I'm aware.
On a weekly basis.
On a weekly basis, then there are brands who use them for their annual end of years.
Yep, that
And
one.
then
Yep.
guess what? And see, just imagine December 2 years ago, there was Olamide, there was Whiskey, there was Davido, there was Fino, there was Tiwa, there was Guinness. All were happening in what? A hotel.
A hotel.
Oh wow! So let me now. That brings another question to mind. We have a lot of infrastructure that is rotting away in Nigeria, and when I say infrastructure, in terms of entertainment, for instance, you could easily collaborate, with the sports sector. So you have stadia all over Nigeria. These stadia are a waste, as far as I'm concerned, because They only function on weekends, probably on a Saturday when you have a match, sometimes maybe on a Sunday. Why can't you have a collaboration between the entertainment sector and the sports sector and use Stadia for your shows?
Let me look at it. Lagos has been divided into two: the
Okay.
mainland and the island.
Island.
Yep.
On the mainland, that's where the stadium is. Around the stadium, you have hoodlums.
Okay.
Nigeria is used to the culture of tables. 3.5 million naira, that's $10,000 per table.
As opposed to investing in the entertainment sector, they would rather spend that money on consumables, which is the table and then the drinks and stuff.
On the island, there is no stadium. There's no venue. Because first of all, the Lagos has been, people on the island thinking of crossing to the mainland, they rather stay on the island. So people from the mainland can easily cross. But people from the island to cross to the mainland is only the airport that takes them there. So right now, there is already a crowd differential in Lagos, in Nigeria. If you are thinking of doing an event in the north, you are thinking of security, Boko Haram.
So still this infrastructural issue, that's just the challenge all around.
Infrastructure, and see, Nigeria does not have structure. But we continue, as Matthew said earlier, things are improving. But right now, just imagine if Tokwe was to put out an event in Lagos and he's to bring people, he's to use Echo Hotel. Let me give you a quick breakdown. NEA Awards. He's to fly people from South Africa, Kenya, all around. First of all, tickets, everybody, artist and manager wants to fly business class. But that is another cost. Getting visas is another cost. Thank you for Tokwe, who has given quite a number of us American visas for the first time. Tokwe, thank you very much.
Thank you guys for always supporting. Thank you for always supporting.
Tokwe is the man. NEA is fantastic.
Then you're looking at Echo Hotel. He's to pay about, he'll spend almost $100,000 to put the show. Sponsors, is he going to sell ticket for an awards show? No. So right now, sponsors are, you see, getting sponsors in Nigeria, there's bureaucracy in getting sponsors.
Exactly. That's why I told you.
It's so hard.
Yes, it's unbelievable the type of bureaucracy that you have to encounter. You
have to encounter. So at the end of the day, if he's looking at all the money to spend, I'll just say rather he just looks at it. Let me just rather fly you guys. And to be honest, and to be fair, you guys putting shows together and awards you guys have tried. I remember Channel O Awards that I have attended like 3 times. They do it in Soweto. They always have problems with Nigerian artists. I'm not, but see, everybody is difficult. But when you get to South Africa, it's a different thing. When you go to Kenya, it's a different thing. We are not supportive of each other, first of all, in Nigeria. Everybody's trying to look, I'm bigger than you, I'm hotter than you, I have the hottest song. No, see, it is a totally different thing. And it ends up making award show very, very difficult. If you go to BET,
any kind of show, sorry to cut you short, Nali, which I agree with you, right? You see, let's be very honest with ourselves, right? We promoters, what we go through, to put a show together, getting, especially what we did when we were in diaspora. That means we need to fly everybody that's coming from that show from destination country, right? You understand what I'm saying? You find out an artist is supposed to arrive a day before the event. The promoter has to. I think this thing is getting hot. This interview is getting hot. That's what you're thinking.
Yes, it is. The interview is just beginning to heat up.
Exactly. I can tell you for a fact. You understand? Which I agree. This was the key thing I agree with Nali. We don't support ourselves, especially we Nigerians.
Yes.
Not the Nigerians. We don't support ourselves. You understand? You as a promoter, you've gone a long way. Let me tell you something, Abib. Let me just give you a quick short rundown. When I did shows in Malaysia, I spent nothing less than $60,000 in 2007 when we started. We spent nothing less than $60,000 to put up an event. Okay, now the country where we are in, they didn't accept it at that time. But we went all the whole 9 years to say, you know what, this culture has to be accepted. Now, while we are doing this, while we are going through all this wahala, the artist is supposed to arrive a day before the event. You understand?
Yeah.
Maybe there should be maybe a welcome party or whatever. And the promoter has done his calculation and said, you know what, with them arriving a day before, I can, promote people, take them here, radio stations, TV stations, stuff like that, so that people can come and say, you know what, yeah, these guys are on ground, they're for real. We're going for this event. Okay? The artists don't show up. They miss their flight. Because one artist thinks because he's so big, he has the hottest song. He doesn't show up early. And you arrive on the day of the event, a couple of hours before the event. How the hell does the promoter wants to buy wants to be able to break through? Because one thing when I feel is what they see, they feel, they can touch what is real. And this happened to me. I'll give an example. When I do EME, all right, big up to EME, amazing people, Banky W, Whiskey, big up to all those guys. Yeah, they were supposed to arrive a day before the event. They arrived. Some problem happened in Lagos, traffic and all that. They missed their. They arrived the next day on a separate flight from Weevil Whiskey. Do you know what people were putting on Facebook? That Whiskey is not even coming there. He's recording in the studio. Now, but we did not sell a ticket. One ticket we did not sell until Whiskey touched ground and he was out of the airport. And people say, yes, Whiskey is in Kuala Lumpur. That's when they started buying tickets.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying. That's when they started buying tickets. So at the end of the day, if we have arrived a day before, I will have sold more tickets and maybe be able to cover my cost. You get what I'm saying? At that time, for me, honestly, coming from being a northerner, my whole idea about this entertainment I'm doing it for the love I have for it. You understand? Yes, if I make money, it's good. But at the end of the day, it's my passion. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My passion, I go on the whole 9 years. Believe me, that show, I did not shower for 2 days because I always go crazy. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, buttering what Nanya just said, we Nigerians especially, we need to put our thought. Let me tell you something. I worked with Lady Gaga, okay? When Lady Gaga came to Singapore, and I was working for Lushington as a subcontractor, we are the people who went to pick up Lady Gaga from the airport. Lady Gaga came in, arrived at the concert was that day at 9 p.m. to start at 8 in the evening. She arrived at 6 a.m. in the morning that day. Yeah, and based on the schedule, she was supposed to be taken from the airport because she used the CIT terminal to go straight to the hotel where they're still on Stanford. Guess what she did? Lady Gaga said to us that I could remember she called me more. She said, "Look, take me to the venue." You know what she did? She did her sound check.
She went to do her sound checks first. That's being very professional about what she's doing.
Everything was on point, and she said, "You know what? Take me to the hotel. I'm going to sleep I'm going to have my rest from certain time to certain time. I should be picked up." By the time we got there like 10 minutes before the time was picked up. Guess what? Lady Gaga was already ready to go.
One of our viewers, has made a comment in respect of Nanle's comments earlier. So Jawad Igila says National Theatre lies in waste, which can be purposed for the entertainment industry. Onikon Stadium can also be repurposed for events. So Nanle, National Theatre, for instance, yes, it's on the mainland. Yeah, but it's not that deep into the mainland, and adequate security can be provided at the National Theatre. The National Theatre is purpose-built for such events. Why is nobody looking at the National Theatre? Why are they paying 20 million to a private organization as opposed to using a federally owned structure? A structure that you and I paid for with our tax money.
If you go to National Theatre now, you will just pass. Why will you pass it? because there are people who live in the building.
In the National Theatre?
Can you imagine?
Yes. They live, see, they feel it is their right. They have been born. See, they're the ones with National Theatre. Those fear and scare, where is parking? You know, Nigerians, if we had a good transport system, if everybody drives down to National Theatre, where are we going to park? There's no parking at National Theatre.
Oh, but National Theatre has the massive parking space.
There is no where, if you can remember, when last did you see the parking space is around it? Right now, it is they use that road around National Theatre to go to 7-Up. Instead of climbing the bridge, you meet traffic from Echo Bridge. You use it as there is no parking. Look at Echo Hotel. Echo Hotel has parking. People, there is traffic if there's a show in Echo Hotel. If all those cars are to go down, and then with the thugs and the hoodlums around Surulere,
yeah,
if they come, you will be scared. Your car will be boggled. So first of all, at Dixie, you know, if you go to like O2, if you go to all these event centers out of the country, the location, first of all, doesn't give room for hoodlums to be around.
Oh no, Nale, I would like to disagree there. You see,
no, you will see hoodlums, not the type. If you go to National Theatre, trust me, you'll be scared to stay at National Theatre.
Yeah, but you see the O2, where the O2 is situated, for instance,
yeah,
you do have hoodlums, and there are plenty of them.
yes.
And now, when you do have an event, it's a natural attention drawer for crime. You understand?
Good.
So you see lots of people walk into those shows, and they're padded all over with drugs. You see the ones that have come there to come and steal stuff from inside cars, all over.
Yes.
You understand? This is a global phenomenon. But you see, that challenge in itself poses an opportunity, because you now see a lot of people coming up with security solutions. So either they set up a security company, or they, CCTV, and all these things are monetized, and it creates more employment for more people. You understand what I'm saying?
What you're saying is absolutely right. But for it to happen, you see, it's first of all, Nigeria, our beautiful and beloved country.
Yes.
They have not realized that entertainment is a big export. And entertainment has given room to, it has employed a whole lot of people. Look at, for an event, you have security, you have stylists, you have makeup artists, you have managers, you have PAs, it's a whole lineup.
Yes.
Nigeria has not recognized that yet. And then, do you know the funny part of it? Nigerian artists actually are paying tax. But what are they paying the tax for?
Mm-hmm.
They are being taxed. Then what are they paying the tax for? Because right now, if an artist pays tax, it affects the payroll of the manager and everybody. Because if let's say it's 10%, 10% has been taken from 1 million, let's say 100,000.
Yes.
Now he's left with 900,000. The label takes, it affects the manager. The manager takes, it affects the PA. The PA so it's a chain reaction.
Yeah.
It's only Lagos that is trying, but they're not even. Ambode, thank God to the past governor, who was trying his best to put in. He was the one who did Lagos Festival, whereby events are happening around Lagos. It's happening in Ekpe, it's happening in Badagry, it's happening in Agege, it is happening on the island simultaneously, which was great because Lagos, because of the traffic, whatever you can do to cut down the traffic, he did well. So right now, if somewhere was to be built on the island, Tokwe Song, stronghold, everybody can say, okay, I want to do an event at this place. I will just book. Right now, look at, for any event in Echo Hotel, if you don't book early, some people have bought the dates. You have to buy it off them. Look at it.
That's interesting. But this this brings another question, and this question I will direct it at Tokwe.
Yep.
Now, Tokwe, I would have thought ordinarily that you would go where the numbers were.
Yeah.
So, what is the population on the island as compared to the mainland? That most of the shows take place on the island.
I think Lally has mentioned the key point of it is I think one is infrastructure, because and also the socioeconomic landscape, right? Because think about it on the mainland, which I don't necessarily co-sign to what I'm about to explain, but it's just the reality on ground. On the mainland, one would think on the mainland there are little venues to hold a large event besides the stadium, or a level event, meaning a crisp event where you can actually sit down, like a sit down event, do something that they would do.
No, but you do have two fantastic hotels in Ikeja that you could
Well,
actually.
they don't have that. They don't have that size. They don't
have the size.
They don't have the size. That's the thing.
They
like
don't have
you they don't. If you're looking for size and elegance, a combination of the two, a hotel, you pretty much narrow down to a hotel in Lagos. I don't. Yeah, you may get some other venues on the island as well, maybe not as big. But to your question, island versus mainland, it's simply because most of the promoters think about it. Like if I want to do, let's suppose take stadium. If I want to do something in National Stadium or the Teslim Balogun Stadium, for example, now majority of the crowd you will attract, the island folks would not want to come to that event. You're essentially going to the dynamics of your event will just be a Lagos mainland event, and the question now becomes how many people, how much can they pay? What kind of artists are you going to bring that you're able to break even when you do your break even analysis, right? And the security, which is a huge piece of it as well, because of the kind of crowd, again, becomes an issue, logistical issue, right? So that most promoters would think, they don't want to deal with that headache of, getting to the stadium, getting the security, and then you have the hoodlums, and they may not even be able to pay because they want to get in for free. They will find a way to circumvent the security, and even the security people will be getting paid. I've done events where the security person will be getting paid to let people in. So essentially cutting off all your revenue potential. So most promoters, they'll think about it at this point, like, I don't want that headache. I'd rather go to the island where I know that my cost is exorbitant because the hotel is 20 million, like Lanley said.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering because
But then again, if you can sell your table, if you do the math, if you have 100 tables there at 2 million average, even I know they go 3.5, but let's even say 2 million, 20 tables, that's 20 million. Now, for lack of argument, get your 200 million. So if you can keep your expense to 100 million, then you have a 50%, 100% turnover, essentially.
Minus sponsorship.
Minus sponsorship. Let's even say you don't have any kobo coming from sponsorship. If you keep your investment to 100 million, and then you sell 100 tables at 2 million, the numbers just makes a lot of sense. And then you have less headache because a hotel has limited access, so you can control. Because as a promoter, controlling your access points is critical because it's your money. It's key. You have to control all that. But if you do an event at the stadium, there's too much laps. There's too much laps in the stadium.
There are like 24 gates.
Exactly. And that's the one that you know about. So the other one that is just like it's because it's one fence has fallen. One fence has fallen.
Take for example, there's a place called Carthage. Yeah, Carthage. This is one of like the most famous event area. It's called I don't know.
Okay, that's the Coliseum in Tunis.
Yeah, something like the Coliseum in Tunisia.
Yep.
If you go in there, my brother, it's because the government, what Lally will say, there's no infrastructure, there's no proper place, and the government are not involved in all this. The government don't give a shit. In Nigeria, it's all about how many barrels of this oil I can sell. Nobody looks at it like the same thing. Because if you look, we know because we are in the industry, so we know. The government don't give a shit about it. If you go to Tunisia, if you go to Colombia, in Qatar, where they do their show, you will first of all start thinking, if you see the picture, how are they going to security wise, how are they going to control? You know what the government did? The government has made that place an event center. Okay? Now, they've put all the structure, it's like a stadium. Okay, it's like a stadium. They put all the structure, everything in place. They've put in barricades that are there. They put in a sales point. Everything is there. Even the stage is being there. The only thing you have to do as an event organizer is bring your own music system and everything. So they've even put in structures where you can put all your video cameras, your recording, and all the cranes. Everything. It's been there. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not rocket science. If Nigeria, if we decide to do that, if Lagos State decide to do something like that, if you go to Tunisia, they have the Kantash Festival. Yo, that's the biggest thing ever. You understand? If you see those festivals, you think how do they control the crowd? How do they control security? Tunisia do have hoodlums now. It's a global issue.
It's a global issue. Yes, that's exactly my point.
Because hoodlums and people trying to do whatever. But at the end of the day, I say, wallahi, if you take that culture and start looking at just the oil in Nigeria as a source of revenue, you understand, and creating entertainment and tourism, you understand, because tourism also they drive each other. Tourism and entertainment drive each other. You understand?
Yes.
You get my point. If somehow now Tunisia, not because of the COVID-19, Tunisia now you can't even get a hotel because they are fully booked. Everybody's coming. Millions of people are coming to Tunisia for the festival across Europe, all the way from Europe, from Africa, North Africa, Central Africa, and all countries. You get what I'm saying? Because the government has put that facility there. The government is interested in entertainment. They also make revenue from entertainment. You understand what I'm saying? Then people, but because the monopoly is just Nigeria is just a monopoly. It's called in Lagos, a hotel or nothing else. As Nali has said, you cannot use what do you call it, the National Theatre. People have turned it to their houses. You understand? So people have started selling tomato and that maybe in the parking lot, who knows? So until we start to understand that entertainment is next to oil, yeah, then the government will start trying to put things in place. Because you cannot tell me, hotel, if you go to Ekona, I can go and book a date with America. I'll take a very nice date that I know people are doing events. You don't block them. I'm not doing event, but I'll come and sell it. Because someone will come and say, I did, I was okay. It's business. Everybody's doing business. I want to come to a concert and sit on the table for God's sake. Round table, everybody's doing big man, drink champagne. Is that what drink champagne in your house now? I'll go to
that's the culture.
Club. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I want to say something real quick, yeah?
Yeah.
Please, the three of you are money men. It's 2020.
I don't know about that too.
It's 2020.
I don't know about the two of them.
It's 2020. If we had this conversation 10 years ago,
yes,
which would have been 2010, this would have given birth to somebody knowing somebody who can get a piece of land in Lagos and doing a concert venue. Now, if we can think about it, it's going to be hard work. It's going to be discouraging because, first of all, the politics in Lagos, where do you want to use? Is to buy and demolish, no parking. If you can create parking, fine. If you guys spent about $500,000. If you guys can use that to acquire somewhere, free trade zone right now, the Lagos free trade zone, acquire it and start getting who the architects or whatever, how many square meters do we need, how many acres of land do we need, and all that. Because people are buying and selling. Because Lagos is moving towards that direction. Lagos is beginning to join with, is it Oyo or where? Towards that axis. And it's a straight road. Dangote refinery is still way ahead, way inside. So now, if 2 years, 1 year to acquire, get investors, which will be, Africa is becoming the place.
But Nale, I'd like to ask a question there, and either Mustafa or Tokwe, could answer this, but you could also as well. Now, if you have $500,000 and there's already infrastructure that's going to waste, you have a shorter time to market if you either take over that infrastructure or you partner with that infrastructure and rejuvenate it. Why would like the National Theatre, for instance? Why would you not look into that?
Okay, if you touch the National theater now.
Nigeria.
We were all born probably before the independence or after the independence or whatsoever. You'll
Yeah.
start hearing history. You will get to a level, they will tell you, oh, during Tinubu's time, they signed one memorandum. Do you want to face that? Then your laugh, you have answered me.
Oh my
Answered me.
goodness.
But is it,
So the best thing,
Nali, you know what? Some people don't look at this. They think it's just. You see, in Nigeria now, we are talking about the that a long story they won't give. Ordinary road, Kaduna, Abuja to Kano. Is that not federal road?
Oh yeah.
This is federal road, the highway, right? Now the government is telling you that it's going to arrest anybody that comes through that road to go to Kano because of the COVID-19 thing. Is this his jurisdiction? Is it not federal government? The federal government put a lockdown on that road. The place that they put a lockdown, federal government, okay, we know that down at federal government. In Nigeria, the bureaucracy, Mr. Habib, is too much.
so the best thing,
You have heart attack.
Mr. Habib,
There's just no clarity across board.
the best thing is for Tokwe and Mustafa to buy 10 acres of land with whoever you know, start developing and get international community. You get
You know what's funny? You know what's interesting, even with that, Nanli, is there's even started to become now a whole Lagos Island breakup, social breakup, right?
Yeah.
Because I've had people say that I can never go to an event after Aja, or I can never go to an event in These are people that live in Lekki. So it dawned on me one day. I just took that drive, literally. I'm like, these people don't understand. When you go abroad, and these are people who travel, when you go abroad, you drive. That's just normal, except you go to London. Or if you go to London, most of them go to London. But if any other place you go, you have to drive 20, 30 minutes. This is a distance of from Lekki first gate to Aja, maybe a distance of maybe 25, 30 minutes. You know, and
It's
this is
not up
evening
to.
event.
It's
It's
not
not even up to. Can you imagine? It's not up to. I will never go to an event in Aja. One time, I'm like, these people, the whole breakdown of that, I just shake my life. These people are just, they fight over things that are just not.
So
For me,
okay,
for me,
It's amazing.
if Lagos State
Yeah.
was to be fair, if Lagos State was to be fair,
especially on the island, it's all about to come and show where I be. You understand? Look, these people are not having fun. As far as I'm concerned, you know, I've been through.
How can you have fun when you're at a concert and it's not like a Beethoven concert and you're sitting down?
Like you, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. It's not only that some part. There's, you know, Big Brother.
Yeah.
Big Brother's third season or second season with I think Fantasia Barrino and all those guys. That season, they came to Singapore. Okay, something very interesting one. They came to Singapore and they had a concert. Big Brother. Not Big Brother. American, not Big Brother. American. What do you call that show again?
Idol, or which one? America's Got Talent. Oh yeah,
America's Got Talent.
Burrito. This I can remember that time. The Diana Bigamo and all those people. They came to Singapore. And Muti Habib, one of my friends, apparently was in Singapore at that time. We bought tickets and went for the show. Guess what? The same thing that we saw that happened in Nigeria happened there. Everybody was sitting down. It's not like, of course, the table one, but they were sitting down watching them because that's their culture. Me and Musti, we are dancing so that the lights, you know, those flashlights, these two African people, let do what they dance. I get to have fun, to enjoy myself. Right. That's where I'm going to a concert. I've been to concerts in America. I was at the Eli. Everybody Love Ice. Yeah, remember Nali? I was at that show. I went with a couple of friends of mine. They are very wealthy guys. Were at that show. They were sitting down. While I was enjoying myself, I was partying, I was dancing. They were sitting there drinking big boys, drinking champagne. So is that culture already? So all people going to the show on the island are all, okay, I'm a big boy, I'm this person, they call you a name, you go jump on table, people go there around, they put champagne. Look, as far as I'm concerned, that's not happening. That's not what I call going to an issue. I mean, that's how I look at it. I go to shows, if you go to shows in Malaysia, or you go to shows in Tunisia, you find out that they are rich guys, people that have money. They are wearing their jeans and trainers, and they are partying and having fun.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
That's the whole point.
You're supposed to go there to unwind.
But
that's what you're supposed to go and do.
Wear suits, the suit, they go gut job, everything, nothing move their body. Yeah? And
Red carpet, red carpet, red carpet, red
Red
carpet.
carpet.
Everybody wants to flex.
Red carpet ready.
The best place that would have happened would have been Echo Atlantic.
Yeah,
Lagos State sold Echo
how
Atlantic.
do you do an event like that? You know, let's
Yeah,
be honest.
actually, Eco Atlantic is nice too, right? I've never been there before.
But right now they are buildings, they are selling lands, and right now they are doing tea. It is
Oh.
it's Echo Atlantic would have been the best place to have like a Coliseum where
Yep. So you want to tell me, you want to tell me they don't have like a plans to build a massive venue inside that Eco Atlantic? Are you telling me that there's no plans for
I
that?
don't know. I've not seen the schematics of that place.
That would be a total failure, governmental and leadership failure,
All I
if
see
that
in
never
Echo
happens.
Atlantic, all I see in Echo Atlantic.
But Eco Atlantic is not a government. It's not a government project. It's a PPP as far as I know. But
Yes.
I think the private sector has much more of a say on what goes on within the Eco Atlantic project.
But at the same time, Eco Atlantic, who started the project?
Yeah, it was the government
Tinubu.
against water erosion and all that. Yeah.
They sold it to who? To themselves. They are the private sector.
Oh well, I wouldn't know about that, Nandi, because where we are now, it's just basically a case of we need to deal with the issues, you understand, that we are faced with as is. The only thing we can do so far is to look at how we can collaborate for our generation, because in truth, we have not achieved anything so far in our generation. If you look at it holistically, we have not achieved anything. We have not done anything that anybody can point at, either in government or in the private sector. So it's time for us to now start looking at ourselves and start trying to find out what can we do to move this thing forward. So take for instance, you guys have an idea, that one Africa Music Fest. That's an African thing. You understand what I'm saying? If you guys can look that far, then you should be able to pull a few people together and say, let's do this thing. On that note, I just want you guys to say a quick thing about that One Africa Fest, and then we'll sign off in a few short moments.
One Africa Fest, good idea, great concept and everything, but execution, terrible. You cannot. Most of the international acts I know, anytime I'm watching or attending, they are complaining. You can't pack a fest. See, you are packing 5 million people. Then you are rushing me as if I'm coming. Some artists really want to perform.
Yep.
Okay.
They really want to perform. And then the whole idea is of one music fest. It's not only Nigerians. You find out probably you carry one Ghana, one Kenya, and all that. Then 50 million Nigerians. No.
Yep.
Let's see. Let the cultures be represented. And because some people, one music fest, Paulo, great idea. But because some people are signed under you, some people don't make it.
Oh, wow.
That's not right. If Tokwe, let me use an example. Sorry guys, quick example. If Tokwe brings everybody, whether you are hot or you're not hot, he has helped in bringing some people that people have forgotten. They come back. That's the whole idea. That's the whole idea. So for me, it's a great idea, but it's not a one-man thing. Bring in people to have other ideas about it. Even though it's a great thing.
Okay. Quick word from you, Mustafa, and then a quick word from Tokwe.
Well, my take on One African Fest, big up to Polo. Polo came up with a very good idea, good concept. It's a man that one has to respect. Been in the game, not maybe as a promoter, but been in the game for some time. And of course, how. My problem one African Music Fest, as I said, it's a great idea. But why carry 30 artists on stage? For how long? They cannot perform. Because let me tell you something. If you have like most of these, you have a techno, you have Tiwa Savage, you have whoever. those same people that came, all those people that bring, will be the same crowd that will come with four of those artists on that stage. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So to me, it doesn't make any. And I said, Olo has been in the game. He has a lot of connections. So he good funds and sponsors and all that. You understand? Great concept. He has brought Africa.
Yeah.
I mean, made us proud. First episode of it, I was very proud of you. In America. But at the end of the day, why take all this number of acts for one show? You do it for everybody is doing time to compete. You understand what I'm saying? Yep. And all of us cannot perform. And believe me, those artists that he takes, 5 of those artists will give him the same crowd because they want to go to the show. They are almost in Nigerians. But anyways, big up to Polo, enough respect. You know what I'm saying?
Talk with it.
Yeah, I think Nali and Musia said exactly what I was going to say. I think it's a very fantastic concept, obviously, promoting the culture outside of the continent. But again, just having too many people on the lineup, I think, is one thing that I would say is it just makes the show looks, it makes the show feel rushed, right? Everybody's doing 10 minute set, and I found out when I went to I'm a big fan of someone like Flavor, for example. And Flavor, I know, can easily do a 1 hour set and you'll be having a fantastic time. But he will come and do only 10, 15 minutes. You feel like, that's not the experience. But
Flavor's great like that, yes.
For anything, he's promoting the culture. But again, I think the next step for him, if I were to advise him, was to now start creating an event rather than just like a show. Because I think sometimes people just create show just to create a show. I think he has to start creating the proper experience, 1 or 2 acts. And let people really enjoy the full breadth of the catalog of this artist, because a lot of them, if you were bringing upcoming artists now, doing one song or two songs, it makes sense. That's all they have. But you're bringing the A-listers who have a catalog of they can perform for an hour, and you're having them do 15, 20 minute sets. I think it's taken away from the full breadth of the artistry. So yeah.
All right.
Sorry, Pogo, I know we're running out of time. Just to add to what Toba is saying, I said to you, I always say big up to Polo. Polo is someone that you have to, as promoters, anybody to come and event outside Nigeria, my brother, that guy is a badass.
Yep.
Regardless.
It's not easy. Badass. Yeah. Badass. Yep.
I can relate to that.
Yeah, because Polo has maybe his ways, he's getting money and getting sponsors. If he's putting his own money down to promote the culture, I mean, to me, he should, as Thomas said, create an event. 1, 2, 3 of those artists, believe me, One Fest has made a name for itself. People will always go for the event. It will always have a crowd, and people have a lifetime experience. For those people that have never been to One Fest before, they will. But let me tell you something. We are coming up with something fantastic. Something fantastic. I'm not going to lay anything out right now, but as I said, we've gone back to the point table. Me, Chokwe, a couple of people, we're coming on board, not just only Nigerians, but a couple of other companies we're putting something together. And believe me, that will be an experience. We know that, we're not all dogs, we're all guys, but when we do something, we do it well. You know what I mean?
So thank you very much, Dr. Song, Mustafa Afar, Matthew Hill, and Nanle Bishman, the man.
Thank you very much for having us.
This has been a great conversation. It's been very insightful for a lot of people who have been watching and listening, and we hope we can do this again very soon. So, you guys, thank you for being on the show. See you again soon.
Bye, guys. Take care. Be safe.
All right. Yeah. Bye.
Watching to all the fans, everybody. Ramadan Mubarak. Have fun.
Thank you.
Ramadan Mubarak. So, folks, we hope you had a great time. And From a Radio is a brand new audiovisual radio, and you could just, tune in and get a great experience. Got beautiful, beautiful music always playing, especially the oldies. For those who love the oldies, all you have to do is just click on fromaradio.com. When you log in, and this comes up on your screen, favorite it so that you could just tune in at every point in time, whether you're going for a walk, you're going for a drive, at any point in time. Fromaradio.com is your go-to platform for radio shows, podcasts, name it. We're just started. We hope you guys love what you're seeing, and we'll catch you again soon. You have a great weekend. Eid Mubarak, and have a beautiful, beautiful night.